been quite a tough year, I would imagine, for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. It's a secondary start, gets a super winners medal, and now he gets a new contract as well. So how good has that been for him? And in terms of how you deal with him on the pitch now, is he up to 100% after that year out, or do you still need to be a bit patient with him?
Well, I think it was a very, 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 very good week for him, of course, and for all of us. And when Alex is in a good shape, it's good for LFC. That's how it is. And we have to, but still, with these other 2 weeks, now this week is already nearly gone, but the next week as well, where we have a full week to train. And that's what we have to do, because after that we play all 3 days, and that's what we try to do, to make the players pretty much fit for the rest of the season with proper sessions. And then we have the 2 games, but these 2 games are very, very important, obviously, but not the only ones we have to play. So Alex is, I would say, in the best shape I can remember, because it's long ago that before he got injured, and all looks good. It's not only physically in a good shape, mentally very good, all that stuff. So yeah, and we need him, and so it's all like it should be.
And you touched upon it there, but that full week that you've got between games now, so what have you been able to do with a full week of training that maybe you couldn't do before, and what impact can that have?
Oh, we believe in training, so we hope we can see the impact. If we cannot see it tomorrow, then we should see it in the next couple of weeks. It's like it is. You work on a lot of tactical stuff, but tactical work actually is always possible, but you have kind of 20 minutes usually, and that's not really cool. And so this week we had today, yesterday, and the day before yesterday, so 3 days where we could work pretty much, where we could work on everything which we thought we have to improve on. It's all the things we have to do during a season, and that's really good. So it's about defending, it's about attacking, it's about everything, and that's what you involve in a week like that. We said at the beginning of the week, this is now really important that we use it, and I expect 100% concentration in all these sessions, and that's what the boys showed. But at the end, we still have to play tomorrow against Arsenal. They did probably not sleep last week. They did very important things for them as well. So yeah, it's like it should be. It's a big opponent, very, very strong opponent. It's Anfield, it's us. So I'm looking forward to it.
So in terms of analysis, then obviously 100% record for you and for Arsenal. But how satisfied have you been with your performances, rather than, I know the results are the most important thing, but just in terms of your performances?
Oh, parts of it I was really happy with. Parts of it, I know that that's exactly the same. I think we spoke about it. Last year, at the beginning of the season, we had sensational results, but everybody was talking to me about the kind of performances is really like this. It's not like the year before anymore and stuff like this. So you have to make next step. First, you have to reach the level of last year, of the last level you had, if you want, and that's what we are trying to do. But that doesn't mean that we start on, if we were perfectly in defending in some games in the late part of the season last year, doesn't mean that after summer break with all the different things the boys had to do, it's immediate like this as well. So we know we can improve that, but it's not about being perfect in the beginning, it's about being ready. And we were ready 100%, and on being perfect we work. We'll never reach it, but we still work on it, and that's what we do. And so it's not about I count minutes, which I'm happy with, or whatever. I would think about it, but I didn't do. First game, City, second half was really good. So then Norwich, 60 minutes, really good. And we didn't know anymore, obviously, 100% how to control a game, because we didn't have to. We don't do it in the preseason. How can you control a game in preseason when you have heavy legs? So, and against City, you don't have to control a game. You have to play your socks off. And so that was not perfect, true. Then we played Chelsea in very difficult circumstances. Who was there knows that. We won the game, and we had big chances. They had some chances, of course, so it was a bit lucky. I mean, with penalty shoot, but I was completely fine with that. And then we played last week Southampton, which is really was one of the most challenging games I had so far, because they are always. The only game I remember in a similar situation was, I think 3 years ago or so, when we came from somewhere in Spain, playing Europa League, and played then Swansea. And this game was completely different to the game against Southampton, because we started really well. Usually in a game like this, with all the travels the intensity of the traveling and stuff like that, you need a bit time to come in the game. But we were there immediately, and that was intensity-wise. We were there. That was really important. So I liked that game as well. And yeah, if Southampton had, of course, chances, but that's football, and that's not. We don't go in a game and expect that the other team is not allowed to shoot on our goal. That's not how defending works. That's what you have a goalie for. That's what you have. It's a block for, in the box, outside the box, whatever. And so there are a lot of positive things, but we always say it, and we know it. A lot of things, space for improvement as well, and that's what you have to do. It's we are not in an individual sport. It's a team sport, and a team sport means if 2 are in a world-class shape and 9 not, doesn't help. So we need to bring them all in the right shape, and probably in the best moment, in the best case, in the same moment, and then let's play football. So what we did. How is that? So far, so okay. Not more, and now let's go against Arsenal.
Jurgen, can I do the medical check-up, please? How close is Alisson to a return?
Close? Oh, not that close. Nobody told me that I have to consider him for tomorrow in training or the game. No, I had lunch with him today, so at least he can eat. Looks good. He's in good shape, good mood, but will take time. I don't know exactly. Nothing to. No date. Really, in my mind, or nobody told me a date. We didn't ask. We want to give him the time he needs, but it looks good. In the beginning, he was on crutches, which is normal with the injury he had. They are not there anymore, so he walks normal. He can really train now, completely different to a week ago, and I think from now on it will go quick. But how quick, I don't know.
Any other doubts or absentees confirmed for tomorrow?
Apart from the long-term injuries, no, not that I know.
Can I just check on Dejan Lovren? A lot of speculation about Dejan moving away, maybe to Germany. Anything to report on that?
Surprisingly, no.
Just thought that.
Yeah, good.
Jurgen, just going back to Ox, I mean, we only know as a player, you also know as a person and a player. I don't know, coming back from an injury that bad, but what impressed you the most? Because I imagine there were some pretty dark times along the way in his recovery to get him to where he is now. I was just wondering what impressed you from his point of view to come back from what he did.
Nothing really. It's not that I'm impressed by it, because it's a professional football life. That's how you would expect it. So we have to be there for the darker moments in a rehab. All of us, me, the staff, medical team especially, where they're closest. But I don't think he had too many of them. I think the most difficult period was the preseason for him, because then from a specific moment on, he was in from the first day. From a specific moment on, we treated him like a normal player, not like a formerly injured player, and that was then really hard for him. That way, was not nobody was then happy with the performances he could put in, because that's normal. Now you feel first time again, you feel how intense all that stuff is around the games, the normal training and all that stuff, and not always somebody takes care. Oh, that's too much for you. You do something else. Here we cannot do that. You do something else. So from a specific moment in prison, he did all the normal stuff, and that was really hard for him to accept. And it's normal if you are such a talent. If the things don't work out, that's how it is, and that you could see that. But he went through that as well, because that's a very important process as well, to stay patient in kind of a football way, that you accept it will not happen overnight. You have to work for it, and you have to work in the long term for it. And it's not about doing the rehab stuff to get fit. No, it's in the moment when you are fit to do the stuff to get on the best fitness level you can be. And that was the hardest thing for him, I'm pretty sure. And he did that. But as much as I like him, that's what he had to do. That's what he had to do. Everybody has to do. It's not allowed in our life, in our sports, and to give up at any point. So as it sounds hard, but it's exactly like that. Because at the end, when you are fit, you are judged again, and you need to be ready for that as well. It's not only now the game was brilliant of Oxford against Southampton, but that's one game, and we have to. Of course, we need that. He needs that more often. We need that more often. It will happen. But there will be other moments as well, and we have to be always ready for them as well. And that's exactly so. Was a perfect period, I would say. Was only much too long, but that was because of the injury. But all the steps he did were exactly the right steps, and now he's back on track. And now, the good times are ahead.
Jurgen, this is some comments that Xabi Alonso made about the current Liverpool team, and he spoke about the incredible team spirit that you managed to instill that took you to great places last season. In the same way as you've spoken about the rhythm of the team taking time to get going at the start of the campaign and the pre-season, is it a given that the team spirit comes back as it was, or is that something that also needs to be worked on?
There are different kinds of team spirit, and the spirit in the team could not be better in the moment. So they won the Champions League last year together, so and won 32 games. Don't know exactly. So if they would not be close, then that would be really funny. So they're very close. But what you need is a competitive team spirit as well. You have to kick the butts of your teammates in the right moment. It's a very competitive team spirit. What you need to be really difficult to beat and all that stuff. It's not about want to have a drink every night together. It's about doing the right things and knowing much better than others for who you are doing it. For your mate, for your best friend, maybe for whatever. Yeah. I like what Hendo said in the preseason when he got asked about that. He said, yes, we will stay friends forever. That's how it is. But in a moment, we have to be friends, not best friends, again, because best friends means that everything what you do is the other thing the other guy likes. We have to push each other. We have to be really, as a team. I've used that word too often probably, but we have to be as a team very angry about everything else around. We have to really stay greedy in all these things. We are. That's not. No, I'm not in doubt about that. But that's what I mean. A different kind of team spirits. The best team spirit in the world is not helpful if it's only about being together and stuff like this. We need this kind of team spirit where everybody pushes each other, and that's what we had, what we have. But we need to have it as well in the future, and that's not guaranteed. We have to work on that every day, and that's what we try to do.
The transfer window closed here over a week ago. There's still a little time before the transfer window closes elsewhere around Europe. I'm sure there's a lot of nervous managers. Do you think that decision needs to be revisited, the unilateral idea of closing before everybody else? And if you had your chance, would you sort of have it later on the same as everybody else?
I don't care when it closes. I only think it must close at the same time. When that is, I don't care. That was the idea in the first place when they spoke about let's finish it before the season starts or whatever, and then everybody knows and can plan with the squad. That's a good idea. But then only England did it, and all the rest didn't do it, and that makes no sense. In that moment, England should have said, "Okay, it's only for all or nobody," and that really makes no sense, because if somebody could explain it to me, what's the benefit for the Premier League? What is it? So we don't really have a problem, but other teams, key players are still on the market, kind of, and everything can happen. You want to have the team not only together, you want to have the team together and focus on the future. So, and if that's not possible as long as there is a door open. And these weeks now are not the most intense weeks of the season. So you need a squad you need from match day 5 on, the full squad. If you don't have big injury problems, because now we play Carabao Cup 1.5 weeks time, I think, and then Champions League, and Premier League, obviously. That means then you need everybody in the squad. So, but in this moment, where not everybody's used maybe like he wants to be used, we have the problem that there's always somebody asking, but he's not playing that much. Don't you think it makes sense and stuff like that? That makes really no sense. And we are not even really involved in it, to be honest. It's not for us, it's not a big problem, but it is for other clubs. And I don't understand why this decision is not already reviewed at least and made it, and said, okay, that was a good idea, but didn't work out, so let's change it again.
Yeah, I know you've touched on team news, but is there any clearer picture on Naby Keita's injury at the moment?
Unfortunately, long term doesn't mean 6 months. It means a couple of weeks, and so no real news. He's still doing well, but not close enough for this weekend.
Just on transfer window theme, and also tying that in with Lovren's situation, can you even afford to consider letting him go?
I say no comment about that. We have to talk about it later. There's nothing to say about, really. Whatever I would say is something about a potential or not potential transfer, and so I don't want to talk about that. It was a nice try, but really good, really good.
Moving forward then, Unai Emery this week spoke about saying he never wants to play Liverpool. That sort of, I know he sort of made it a jest, but that sort of feeling that the opponents get, how does that make you feel?
It's not what he thinks. It's about it. We cannot make a joke. He makes a joke, like you want to play Liverpool. No, actually, we don't want to play them at all. So that's a joke, and we cannot make a serious question of it. So, but what I said is that we want to be the team nobody wants to play against. But I still have to. It's not about being not before that you don't want to play against us because we need opponents. It's that in the game you think, wow, that's too much. They are too intense. They are too quick, too strong, too fast. Whatever. Too greedy, too angry, whatever. And that's what we want, and not what people say before the game. That's not really important. We have to make ourselves ready for the game, and have to make sure that at the end people think, okay, that was not a joy for us today, and so the other team thinks that. So that's the plan, but not what they say before. And how I said, it was a joke of Unai Emery and nothing else, and so that's why I don't have to think about that really.
Anything from the back row over there? No? Come over to James, just a bit on that. Mel, anything from you? Neil?
Games at Anfield for Liverpool and Arsenal, I think 30 goals in the last 6. They seem like the two sort of most attacking sides in the league. Do you expect something similar this week?
I wouldn't expect it, to be honest. Both teams are probably offensive orientated, at least. Let me say it like this. But I have no clue about the result. I have no clue. So Arsenal can and will probably change at least 2 key positions. Probably Pepe will start, which make them not weaker, and Chaka probably. Yeah. So and they can still make other changes. So it's what happened a lot to us in the last few months or maybe years, that you make an analysis, and especially at early stages you make an analysis, and then you see, okay, against us they play completely different. So playing build up against everybody, not against us. I don't say with Arsenal like this, but it makes life analyze quite tricky, especially in the early stage of the season where we are now. So I have no real idea how. I know what they did in the first 2 games. I know what they did last year against us, but I don't know more. And so we have to make a couple of decisions that makes us kind of independent of what they do. It's what we try, and each result which gives us 3 points, I'm happy with. I don't care about how often we score or whatever. That's not the moment for thinking about that, to be honest. I don't think Arsenal is doing it like that. If you look at the team, how they set up in pretty much each lineup, good football players on all positions and real speed up front. Wow, real speed. And that makes it tricky to defend it all the time, to do that stuff. You have to be brave, you have to play your own football, you have to try to keep possession, you have to be direct and all that stuff. So a lot of things to do and to consider in that game. But against a very strong opponent. That's why I said I'm really looking forward to it, because it's in the early part of the season. But these games will come up anyway, and now it's pretty early, and now we have to show that we are ready again.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome.